SF6 is a colorless greenhouse gas with refrigerant-type qualities and is non-conductive. It has multiple uses, including use as an insulator in large electrical transformers. SF6 is made by combining the elements sulfur and fluorine. Sulfur is a non-metallic element usually found free or in combination with numerous other elements. It closely resembles oxygen in its chemical nature, and this is probably why it so readily bonds with the highly reactive fluorine to make our product. The heart of the SF6 process is the dual reactor system where conversion takes place. But the process of making SF6 actually begins with gaseous fluorine being made by splitting hydrofluoric or HF acid into its separate elements of hydrogen and fluorine through electrolysis. Fluorine is a non-metallic halogen that is diatomic in nature, meaning it is found free in bonded pairs of atoms that without the introduction of another element will remain bonded. For each atom of sulfur introduced to the reactor, 3 pairs of fluorine atoms will bond with it to make SF6. In the presence of the sulfur atom, these fluorine atom pairs will separate their original bonds as they position themselves on the atom. When a controlled feed of sulfur is introduced into a fluorine-enriched atmosphere inside one of 2 water-cooled reactors, the result is SF6. The superheated gas rises up the reactor by means of thermal updraft from the intense reaction and assisted by a vacuum source called the Nash pump. It is both pulled and pushed into an off-gas line that is also water-cooled, where it exits into the last cooler, the U-tube cooler, given its name by the unique shape of the water-filled tubes inside. Fluorine is sent to the SF6 unit along with carryover melt mist, which is unquestionably the single biggest cause of corrosion in the SF6 system. Now let's take a fluorine atom's eye view of the process. As the fluorine reaches the SF6 reactor, a feed of vaporized sulfur is also introduced to start the continuous sustained burn. In an instant, when vaporized sulfur meets the gaseous fluorine in the reactor, SF6 is formed. This, along with a controlled amount of excess fluorine used to ensure excess amounts of sulfur do not build up and, quote, flood the plate, both gases rise to the top of the reactor. This reactor must be water-cooled to avoid fluorination of the steel vessel. The actual temperature of the reactor has never been quantified, but best estimates believe it to be around 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and the metal construction of the unit would quickly melt down otherwise.